Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we are taking our adventures over to Brickell Key. If you don't know what that is, you're about to find out, and you're gonna know its history because it's an island that should have never existed. If history pretty much did not take the course that it did. Stay tuned. Right now we are crossing the bridge from Brickell over to Brickell Key. So Brickell is directly behind us. Okay, now that we are on Brickell Key, let's talk a little bit about its history because I honestly think it's really cool. By the way, since we're already on the other side, if you're not familiar with Brickell Key, this is the Brickell I'm hoping you're familiar with, and this is the small bridge. Pretty low, so boats are really not going to come through here. Maybe a kayak, but not a boat. And then this connects directly to a security guardhouse, or if you're on foot or riding your bike, you can get here without any issues. So the story of Brickell Key starts in 1896. Yes, that far back. Now, it didn't get built in 1896, but Henry Flagler, if you don't know, he brought the railroad down here. He wanted to bring it to Key West forever, but it was destroyed by a hurricane in 1926. That Henry Flagler decided to dredge and widen and deepen the Miami River, the mouth of it where it meets with Biscayne Bay. And from that leftover sand that he used to clear out the Miami River, two small islands formed where we are right now, basically. This is such a beautiful island, by the way. As you can see, it's very beautiful. This is the Mandarin part, which belongs to the hotel. So anyway, Flagler cleared out the Miami River in 1896, which created a chain of two small islands. Nothing really happened with these islands for several years. In fact, it wasn't until 1914 that Mary Brickell herself said she does not want this island to exist. In fact, she wanted it out so bad because it was a nuisance to her that she offered to pay money to basically take ownership of it and get rid of it. So if Mary Brickell had her way back in 1914, this would not exist today. I'm sure of it. Maybe down the road something would have been developed, but pretty sure we've stopped making man-made islands today. What we have now is from the past, and it will remain for the future. Anyway, to settle who would gain ownership of these two islands and do whatever they want with it, the Florida Internal Improvement Fund held an auction with bidding ranging from $10.10 to $3,000 per acre. Can you guess what Mary Brickell's bid was? She entered her bid of $750, and right off the bat you can tell she did not win. The highest bid and winner of the auction went to a woman named M.R. Burlingame. This led to Mary Brickell herself filing a lawsuit in hopes that the court decides in her favor and she gets to dispose of these islands that she hates so damn much. Things were not going her way again because she lost the lawsuit, and Burlingame was finally given the deed to the islands. Burlingame had grand plans, like plans that are pretty similar to how it is today. She wanted to develop for a hotel, apartment buildings on the island, but at the time that did not happen at all. So over several decades, this island right here, Brickell Key, went under different ownerships, and the owners expanded it, but they didn't really act on it. There wasn't much of like what we see today for several decades into the future. So while it didn't have its development until the 70s, it did expand and get its triangular shape that it is today after 1943, when a man by Edward Clawton Sr. purchased the island and decided to fill in the remaining sections and shape it into the triangular form we see today. By the way, look how beautiful this view is. I'm literally just sitting here at this bench, and Port of Miami is right there. Way off in the distance is Fisher Island. You see Virginia Key over here. Key Biscayne Bridge way over there. We can actually see the old Key Biscayne Bridge because it was later elevated. We'll probably make a video on Key Biscayne someday, but the bridge we see today was not the original one. It was actually much lower, but they obviously raised it because traffic started to build up. It used to be a drawbridge, and as more people started coming and moving here, then, you know, having a drawbridge just does not make sense. Leave a like if you want to see a Key Biscayne history video. I actually brought along this really cool book on the Brickell neighborhood, and in this picture from 1916, you can actually see there's those little two islands that I mentioned right there. And in 1935, we can see that it is a little bit bigger. And of course, if we go to the 70s, 1972, it was its triangular shape already, but nothing existed there. So then here in 1980, we can see that there is just one building in existence, but there are a lot of projects going on at the same time. By the way, this one building that looks like it has stairs, it's like a staircase shape. It's this one right here. We're gonna get a better view of it in a second. But here it is in the 1980s. You can see the bridge there connecting to Brickell. Same building there, so it took a while for there to be anything else on this island. And then down here, construction continued on other developments. And then today we see there's a bunch of buildings. It is very populated with buildings, hotels, offices. Here is that building with the staircase shape that is in the picture. It is the first building ever on Brickell Key. I myself have never seen any crocodiles in the area, but apparently they exist, especially being so close to the water. So be careful if you do come here. Anyway, in the 1970s, a company by the name of Swire Properties bought most of the island to begin development. Now, the company specialized in mixed-use properties, as we see here. So they decided to build hotels, office buildings, residential buildings. And these projects of theirs include the Mandarin Oriental, Asia Condominiums, Brickell Key 1, Carbonell, and many more. What's interesting is that their portfolio includes Brickell City Center, which is a massive mixed-use property just a couple of blocks west of here. All right, guys, we are still on Brickell Key, but this part is obviously interesting. There is a massive statue here of a Tequesta Indian. These guys go way back thousands of years here in South Florida, the Brickell neighborhood specifically. And as you can see, this is a 30-foot bronze statue of a Tequesta Indian blowing on a conch shell. It is currently closed for repairs, so it would have been nice to go directly in front of it. But we do have a great view with the skyscrapers behind it. Fascinating. There's a lot of history in this area, not just recent, like in the past century, but thousands of years ago. There's a site where they found stuff dating back 10,000 years here in Brickell. But that is, again, for another video, because that one has a lot of history. Obviously, it's like 10,000 years before now. But some of the artifacts from there at what is called Miami Circle, you guys can look this up on your own before I make the video. But in Miami Circle, they found underneath something they demolished. I think it was a condo. It got new ownership who wanted to build on the land, but they decided to do some excavating and looking into what may be beneath the ground, and they found some artifacts from a very long time ago. Some of those artifacts, by the way, are at the History Miami Museum. So that video is going to be somewhere down the line in the future on this channel, but it's just really cool because we can actually see those artifacts from thousands of years ago and visit the site where that took place. But until now, we have Tequesta Indian right in front of us, being honored here on Brickell Key. Over here we see a information board showing Miami's skyline, and this is where we're at, by the way. Remember I said it became triangular shaped like it is today? Yeah, there's a lot of buildings here, a lot of green space, a lot of walking space. We've actually started here on the bridge and circled around to where we are right now, and we can actually keep walking down this way and come back to where we started. Guys, this is so sad. Look at all of this trash that just washes up. God, we gotta take care of the bay, guys. This landscape is changing constantly. No 2 years look the same. That is, by the way, the new Aston Martin building, currently under construction. We're currently working our way back. See some scaffolding here. So construction is a never-ending process. You can look anywhere in Miami, and that is true here in Brickell Key. It's been getting developed since the beginning. Wish I would have brought food, because this is like the perfect place to have a picnic. Just so much skyscrapers, so many things to look at, but I didn't. So as I mentioned early in the video, when we were talking about the Miami Brickell and her relation, and or actually her disgust of this small island, we actually see this here on this billboard about the Miami Circle, which is just across the mouth of the Miami River and this little canal here. We see here that it says Mary Brickell, who is believed to have complained that dredgings for the Miami Canal deposited onto a sandbar now known as Brickell Key spoiled her view of Biscayne Bay. So she wanted a direct view of the bay, which is obviously obstructed now, but that was her only complaint. She was basically on this side and looking this way towards us, and did not like what she saw, which was just two small little islands or a sandbar. I think that's being picky in my opinion. She would probably hate what Brickell turned out to be. I don't know if she's that into admiring the views. Depending on where you are in Brickell, you never have a view of the bay unless you're right on the edge. So I don't think she would have liked Brickell. I am so lost. The walkway was closed and it sent me into this like parking garage. Guys, look at these prices to park in this garage. I'm not even sure what building we're in. Oh, this is like I think an office slash hotel or condo. But look at this, $3 for just 20 minutes or less. Each additional 20 minutes is $3. And then I'm not sure why they couldn't just put the hours, but 1,440 minutes maximum is $38, and then each day is $38. So maybe 1,440 minutes is a day. I don't know. Pretty weird way to do it. I think we're leaving this way. This is a little business area. So the area we were walking in was like the bay walk, which is like a bay view and very relaxing. But if you go towards the inner part of Brickell Key, you'll see a bunch of businesses, hotels on the outskirts, and you know, it's a lot of areas to hang out. If you're a resident here or if you're just visiting your hotels here, you have a lot of options to eat without getting off of the island. Alright, we are exiting Brickell Key, and as I was walking out, I wasn't recording, but there was like a security lady sitting at the end of the bridge, strangely on this side. So she looks at people who are exiting, and she was like, "Are you a resident?" I was like, "No." And she said, "I can't be on here with a camera filming." And I told her, "Well, I'm leaving now. I already got the video I needed." And she was just basically telling me, "Don't do it again." And I was like, okay. I didn't know about that rule. Nobody stopped me going in. Nobody stopped me inside Brickell Key. Only when I was leaving, which is so dumb. But now you know. If you're gonna come, don't come with a professional camera or a GoPro for that matter. I don't know what she was referring to. All right, with that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned a little or two about Brickell Key and its history. Like I said, if Brickell had her way, this would not exist today. And I'm not sure it's of any benefit to most people here, but people do live and work here. So for those people, I'm sure they're glad Brickell Key came and got developed. Like this video, subscribe, hit the bell button. If you're new here, I upload once or twice a week local South Florida videos to keep you guys informed, entertained, and learn about new things going on here in South Florida. So with that, I'll catch you in the next video.